Your book discusses the role of the Bible in shaping our world today. As part of this, you reference the swearing into office of political leaders, but in Australia's case, our current Prime Minister Julia Gillard opted not to swear in with her hand on the Bible for the first time in our history. What would your take on this approach of hers be?
I do not know what the Prime Minister was really saying through that. I assume that it was a very deliberate, intentional decision, even if there was not serious thinking behind it. If what she was conveying was that I do not believe the Bible and my government is not going to submit to the authority of the Bible in any way or take that into consideration in choosing policies and decisions, then I would think that she was acting with integrity, that she has no respect for the Bible and she does not want to follow a meaningless tradition. The problem, however, is that once the government of Australia has rejected God's authority, then Australia has to prepare itself for being ruled by human beings exclusively. The 20th century has shown us what happens to the most enlightened, most educated nation such as Germany or USSR or China, when a nation, the rulers of a nation say we are not going to submit to God, you better be careful because you will then have to submit to them. In rejecting the Word of God, the West is rejecting its soul, the secret of its freedom, its prosperity, its wisdom. So Australia is in fact headed for very bad times.
The federal government has reached an agreement with the states and territories to introduce a national curriculum to all Australian schools starting in 2013. The new curriculum will replace the historical terms BC, before Christ, and AD, Anno Domini, with the new politically correct neutral terms of BCE, before the Common Era, and CE, Common Era. Why would this change be such a big deal?
This problem that the curriculum of Australian government would destroy the identity of Australia as a nation which was born in a Christian framework, Christian worldview and milieu, that's a small problem. So the state education, giving the state the responsibility and the authority to brainwash your children, is a massive problem, and the solution to this is not to curse the state, but for the church to rise up and take up its own obligation to educate the nation, to disciple the nation.
The debate is raging in Australia around the issue of same-sex marriage. At the announcement of one of our political leaders she was having a baby with her lesbian partner, a columnist recently discussed that this was a chance to underline the concept of what really makes a family and why it's important for society as a whole, the family unit itself. What would you have to say on this?
The greatest secret of the success of Western civilization, the energy that created the modern West, in which I include Australia and New Zealand, the energy was not nuclear energy or petroleum or solar energy or electrical energy. The greatest energy was sex. Western civilization was a civilization that harnessed sexual energy more efficiently than any other civilization. One of our gods in India, Krishna, for example, has 16,000 wives. None of his wives is worshipped. His mistress is worshipped, Radha. But the Western civilization said, no, marriage should be one man, one woman, exclusive and lifelong relationship, not to be broken, because that's how God had created, one Eve for one Adam, for them to be one flesh, to have children, and to fill the earth, to establish their authority, dominion over the earth. So understanding sex as an energy that builds a family, produces children, nurtures children, strong families, strong women, strong children result in strong economy, strong nation.